Hey guys, and welcome to a mass building chest day. Our primary focus for this chest workout was upper chest. So I'm going to just go through some tips and tricks in this workout to help you get the most out of your chest sessions, because it's one of the exercises, or one of the body parts even, that people get the most wrong, especially amateurs. So I used to think it was back, but watching people train chest, I see people get stuff so wrong. So we're just going to go through a few points and things I'm focusing on during sets, weight I'm using, etc. So to begin with, start with incline dumbbell press, pretty standard exercise. Now, what you want to do, and you can see a very different style of pressing between me and Reese. Reese is going for pure strength press, and the difference is you can see his elbows are tucked in more than mine. This means he's activating his triceps more during this press motion. This is something he does for strength training. It just means you can lift more weight, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get more chest activation. And then when we go to my set, you can see the difference in the positioning of my elbows. Something as small as that can really change chest activation. So my arms are right up, pretty much in line with my chest. They're not tucked into the side. This really focuses in on activating the chest. When you have your elbows tucked in a little bit there, you're going to start using the triceps more. Also, another thing to take note of, you can see even with the 50 kilos, which is pretty heavy for me at the minute, I haven't done much heavy pressing in a while, I'm pausing for a second at the bottom of each rep and then pressing up. You see there's no trying to bounce out the bottom or anything, or I'm not stopping halfway and pressing. Every single time I get to depth, wait half a second, let my muscles, adjust, press, get to depth, press, okay? And then, that's how I prefer to train, and I think for me it gets me the biggest, best pump. But here Reese is doing slightly different. He's still going through full range of motion. He's just not pausing for as long at the bottom. That's absolutely fine if you're getting that chest activation in and you're getting that pump in. For me personally, I need that little pause at the bottom to really let my chest stretch out and then press up. I just feel like it engages more muscle fibers personally. So basically we did 4 straight sets pretty much. Nothing fancy in this workout, really pretty straightforward workout, but really effective. And what you want to do is as well use a weight where you can really actually control the weight, okay, like we're doing here, no really struggling to do it, no 3 or 4 rep sets using stupid heavy weight. It's great for building strength on bench press and stuff, but for building actual muscle mass you need to go a bit lighter and really focus on the contraction. You can see how much my chest here is squeezing at the top of this rep. A lot of people won't get half the contraction that I do doing a chest press, and that's just why I'm able to grow my chest so easily. It's partly genetic, but it's partly I just really feel the contractions every single rep. So when you're doing dumbbell presses, really think about that. If you want to activate chest more, elbows higher. If you want to activate triceps a little bit more and maybe push a bit more weight, tuck them in a little bit. It's also going to use shoulders in a different way, so that's something to think about. Next, we went on to muscle round dumbbell flies. These are brutal. You do not need much weight for these at all. So the way these work is it's basically a cluster set, as some people call it, muscle round set. It's a set broken down into chunks. In this particular version, we're doing 6, 6, 6, 6. And what you're going to do is between each 6 reps, you have 10 seconds at the full stretch position. This is just so when you're not moving your muscle doesn't mean it's not activated, and holding that weight at the stretch point while you've got a pump really just activates those muscle fibers even more. And if you really struggle with trying to feel contractions and get a good pump, if you do a muscle round set, I guarantee if you do it properly, these burn like a motherfucker. And a really great way to just add mass. You can do them with press motions as well, lots of things. But I find with dumbbell flies, they're really, really effective. And since I discovered them a while back, I've started using them. It also cuts your workout a lot shorter, because if you think about it, you're doing 24 reps in one set, all right? So that's already the equivalent of 2 straight sets of flies at 10 reps. But this muscle round set, you're actually going to get more out of than 2 straight sets normally, just because of how much of a pump it's getting you. And as it's on a second exercise, we're already nice and pumped up, and it just allows those the chest to fill with blood and really help rip apart the chest fibers, to help them regrow in future. People really don't focus on the pump enough, the stretch enough here, or the contractions when doing chest, and often the reason is they are A, rushing the motions, and B, they're formed slightly wrong, which is why a lot of people end up having shoulder problems as well, because the way they're pressing, the way they're flying, etc., they're using their shoulders, especially their front delt or anterior delt, way more than their chest. And eventually this can cause imbalances, grinding in the shoulders. I've almost never had an issue with my shoulders pressing, chest pressing that is, anything, ever. Because I think I've always just had really good technique with it, and I just always put my shoulders at a position where you can see they're pinned back, alright? So another thing, I know this is really important when we get to machines as well, is keeping your shoulders pinned back when doing chest movements. Now you may be like, how is that possible? But when you're doing a flat bench, you arch your back, you know, and your traps are pinned back together on the bench. That's what I mean by pinning it back. You can do that on every single chest exercise on a bench, be it seated or flat. So you just want that arch in your back, you want your shoulders pinned back, and you want your chest sort of puffed up forward. The more in front your chest is doing these motions, the more your chest is going to get activated. If you start rolling your shoulders forward and, you know, using your shoulders to press, which a lot of people do, you're going to be using your shoulders, not your chest, and that's one of the reasons they're just not going to develop, and people have overdeveloped front delts, not much chest. That's one of the reasons. Next up, we have a crossbody press. This is an amazing exercise. You can do this on cables as well. We're doing it on an incline press machine because we really want to focus on that upper inner pec. So we're doing, you don't need much weight at all. Press, squeeze, hold at the top, slow down. So you'll see here, so when I do it, press, hold for a second, and then, so it's all about the contraction. I'm not rushing through the motion. About half a second, 1 second at the top of each movement. I'm really trying to feel every single rep in my pecs here, and especially in my upper inner chest. So I'm not only pushing the weight across my body, I'm actually actively trying to tense my chest as if I was like posing, for example, without any weight. And this just fires the fibres even harder and really gets them to contract under that tension of weight. So great one to work on your upper inner chest if you lack it, and you can do it on a cable machine, it's just standing across your body. So yeah, upper chest focus, amazing this one. Next up we have the incline press machine. 1, 2. And I'll just stop talking there for a second just so you could hear me count the timing for him. So for Reese we're going 1, 2 at the top, down, 2 seconds at the top, squeezing hard, down, and repeat. Do one more, hold it as long as you can. 3, 2, 1, So the squeeze here is what really matters a lot, and also the stretch. I forget that as well. A lot of people don't get enough depth in the movement because they're trying to lift too much weight, so then they end up doing like the top portion of the rep. If you can't get all the way down to the weight where the handles are pretty much touching your chest and press it back up, or then the weight you're using is too heavy, and you need to be able to control it down like I'm doing here. So press, hold, 1, and down, and press, hold, squeeze, and down. This is what gets the muscles firing, this is what gets growth going, and it helps get pumping in the blood, and, you know, just a good workout. You need to focus on the contractions, and just really thinking about each exercise and exactly what you're trying to accomplish with each one, rather than just going through the motions, will make all the difference. Small tweaks to how your elbows are positioned, how your wrists are, and as you can see on this bench as well, shoulders pinned back. So even though we're like pushed forward in an incline bench, you can see my shoulders aren't even really on show. It's all chest work in here pretty much. Very little delt, all upper pec taking over because I'm pinned back. If I was actually sat right up against the bench, I'd end up having my shoulders rolled forward more, and it would use a hell of a lot more shoulders. So you can see how much I've leant back there. That's really important to take note. And on any sort of chest machine, you want to have that arch because it really makes a difference. Then to finish, we did good old cable flies, another one that I see done wrong very frequently. And I've been helping Reece trying to correct some of his form on certain exercises because he loves his powerlifting, he loves lifting heavy. It's just the nuances of bodybuilding and the small little changes and tempo that, you know, I've been trying to help him, and he's been helping me with strength stuff, so it's been a good training with him. So here he would normally do the rep quite quickly, not necessarily focusing on the contraction too much, maybe using more weight than this. Normally you see not much weight on the stack at all, but he got such a better pump and enjoyed this workout way more than his own style chest workouts, because he's really trying to grow now as well as gain that strength, and this is how you do it. So mostly controlled reps, and then when you get to the finish, you know, when you really can't control the reps anymore, finish off with a few extra pump ones, you know, cheat a little bit. That doesn't hurt. It's when your entire set is those reps at the end that Reese did that you're just not going to get much out of it, whereas when you're already pumped up and tired at the end of the set, it's fine to cheat rep, okay? To an extent anyway. So you can see here with me as well, exactly the same thing. Nice slow negative, stretch fully, hold and squeeze for 2 seconds. And when I say squeeze, I mean like I'm really trying to push my hands together and tense my chest really damn hard. This is what's making the fibres activate again. So just take your time with movements. Don't rush anything, don't go too heavy, and really try and think about using your chest. Don't use your shoulders as much, don't use your triceps as much, unless you're trying to actually, you know, do a tricep focused chest day, which is another thing you can do. But this was purely chest focused day, mainly upper, and hopefully I've given you some ideas on how to maybe tweak your training a bit if your chest isn't growing, or if you're one of these many people who struggle to grow that inner chest area or upper chest part. You can isolate it, even though it's all one muscle, you can still, you know, target specific areas. It's very possible to do. So I hope you enjoyed this. I tried to make this one a little bit more informative rather than just complete rambling. I've got a lot of good videos to come. Oh, also, join my chat room. We've got 70 people in there now. When I get to 100, I'm going to start giving away the supplements I showed in the previous video. It's been a good chat. It's been going for a couple of weeks now. People have been in there quite active. My clients are in there. It's nice to have to chat to everyone in the same place. There's a lot of people from all over the world in there, so we've got some Americans, some Europeans, a good mix. So link will be in the description to join it this time. So go do that and chat to me there, well, not in person, over the interwebs. And if you have any more questions about this sort of stuff, there is the place to ask. I'll always answer questions in there, and loads of other people have, like Reese is in the chat room. He's really good at his strength and conditioning stuff. He really knows his shit with that. So if you need help with, you know, getting stronger specifically, all of this kind of stuff, just get in there. Lots of people have got good ideas for diet, cardio ideas, and lots of other fun chats as well. It's just, I'm trying to make it a good place for people to learn stuff, for me to learn things, and to get to talk to more people. So yeah, join it, and I'll catch you on there or in the next video. For now, bye bye.